In this video, we're going to be solving multi-step equations. So in previous videos, we worked about one step and two step, but now what if there's more steps that we need to do? So notice this first example. What do we need to do first before we solve for x? Well, before we get the x by itself, we need to combine like terms. So we got 3x plus 4x. This is going to become 7x. Negative 9 plus 4 is going to become minus 5 equals 9. So now, after simplifying that and combining like terms, we can solve for x now. So two-step equation, first step, add 5 to both sides. So we get 7x equals 14. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 7, and I'll get x to equal 2. Okay? And remember, we can use that to go back to my original equation. Plug in 2 every time you see an x, and then simplify it and make sure the left-hand side equals the right-hand side. So this is going to be 6 plus 8 minus 9 plus 4 equals 9. So let's check this. We got 14, sorry, zoomed out. We got 14 minus 9 plus 4. It's going to be 5 plus 4, be 9 equals 9. So that's how we know that our x equals 2 is correct. All right, so let's do a couple more examples. Solve the following multi-step equations. So let's figure out what we have to do first before we can start moving things from one side to the other. All right, so here we've got combined some like terms. So we got 4 plus 2h equals 2 plus 10, which is going to give me 12. So from here we can subtract 4 from both sides. We have 2h equals 8. Divide both sides by 2. H equals 4. Again, we can plug it back into our calculator or plug it back in off to the side just to double check our work. And if you do, you're going to see 12 equals 12. That's how we know h equals 4 was correct. All right, what about number 2? What's the first thing we need to do when we need to combine some like terms? 5x minus 2x, that's going to be 3x. 7 plus 1 is going to give me plus 8 equals 12. All right. So then we got 3x equals 4, because that means we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. Then we divide both sides by 3, and we get x equals 4/3. So we have a fraction here, but I'm going to use my calculator. I'm going to plug that back in. Let's make sure we did this correct. So every time I see an x, I'm going to plug in 4/3. Okay, so using my calculator, checking this out, I do get 12 equals 12. So this is right. So even though it's a fraction, fractions are numbers too. So x equals 4/3. Okay? What about here? We've got distributive property. So there's going to be two different ways that we can solve these problems. All right, the first is to actually use the distributive property. So I'm going to distribute the 3. That's going to give me 3 times x, which is 3x, and 3 times negative 2, which is negative 6, equals 12. All right, from here, add 6 to both sides. So 3x equals 18. Divide both sides by 3, and we get x equals 6. All right? What is another way that we can solve this where I might not have to distribute? So let's go through another way to solve this. Remember, distributive property is just multiplication. So we're taking 3 times this whole group x minus 12. So what if I wanted to get this x minus 12 by itself? Well, what's happening to the x minus 12? Well, it's being multiplied by 3. So to undo multiplication, I need to divide. So if I divide both sides by 3, it's going to cancel out the 3's on the left-hand side, leave me just with x minus 2 equals 4. And then from here, add 2 to both sides. X is going to equal 6. Well, if you notice, we got the same answer. All right, so sometimes if we just have a problem like this where we could do the distributive property or we could get rid of that number out in front and then get what's inside the parentheses by itself, okay? Both are ways that we can solve, all right? And both strategies might be helpful depending on what we're given, okay? So sometimes it might be helpful to get rid of that number in front of the parentheses first. Sometimes it'll still be easy if we just distribute the number, okay? So just wanted to show you both ways we could solve using the distributive property. All right, what's up next? We got some you try now problems. We got these 4. So go ahead and pause the video, try those out, okay? And then we will go over these the next time I see you. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, have a good one.